Hey book club, Dan here from One Man Book Club with Foundation by Isaac Asimov. I have had intentions, I guess you'd say, in 2022 to read more classics. I thought this would be a good one to start with, and it's not like I'm not unread. I just, want to read more because there's a lot I haven't read. So I picked up Foundation. You don't really review classics. You kind of just share your experience with them. And that's what I'm going to do. I finished Foundation just a couple of days ago, and it's been rolling around in my head ever since. The word my thoughts keep coalescing around: ambitious. Now, my awareness of Isaac Asimov was mostly connected to robots, specifically like the 3 laws of robotics. I mean, that's been supremely influential in every robot story I've ever read, ever since he coined the phrase robotics in the 1950s. Yeah, he literally made up the phrase robotics. Anyway, I heard a few folks mention Foundation, and as I've been, like I said, interested in digging more into the classics, I thought I'd check it out. I knew very little about it, so I felt pretty open-minded and freed from the burden of anticipation that you sometimes get yourself into when you're reading a famous book. Anyway, I wasn't like that. Blank slate. Here's what I found. The best science fiction writers can imagine a future that doesn't exist and make us feel like it can. Like, in the case of someone like John Scalzi, I can read him and get lost in my imagination for what's to come. And in the case of Asimov and Foundation, which was written in 1951, I can read it and give him a score on how close he got. How close was he? Well, not really close to today, actually, but Foundation was written to be many thousands of years, millennia into the future. So who's to say how close he was? I don't know. Nuclear-powered household tools powered by walnut-sized reactors? That sounds very 1950-ish, obviously, but sure, why not? In this case, the sci-fi magic is a little different in when it comes to Foundation. It imagines an entirely new field of science called psychohistory. It's the ability of science to use mathematics and sociology to predict the future behavior of large populations, like predict the future behavior like out for eons. Using this science that he made up, Asimov creates a future for the human race, predicts its collapse, and plots a series of events that will guide humanity back from the brink of disaster and save us from ourselves. It's bold, it's clever, it's original, it stands on its own even today, 70 years after its publication. See? Ambitious. All that in a book with 0 character development. I usually find most of my book nerdy satisfaction watching characters grow. Well, there's none of that here. And I think it's pretty intentional. Maybe it's a relic of the age it was written in, but instead of engaging characters, this story is all about the plot. Hundreds of years pass between the covers of this book. And the big question that pulled me through and will pull you through is, did psychohistory correctly predict human behavior for thousands of years into the future? Now, I'll let you read and find out. It's pretty fun, though. I wish that character development was a big miss. I did miss that, so that is a thing. But there are no content concerns. It does show its age and its pacing. It was hard to read, and like I said, with no strong characters to drive things along, this book might not hold the attention of any but the most ambitious of young readers. An ambitious book for an ambitious reader. I think that's fitting. Best for ambitious 14-year-olds and up. This is Foundation by Isaac Asimov. Anyway, give it a try. Happy reading, everyone.